marena, dumelang dikgosi. Dumelang marena, dumelang dikgosi. Ketapele telletsweng pele ke morena Neo Mopedi, Mora Mofumahadi Mantsane le morena Jobo. A tsamaya le kgosi Kgadi Kgaongalelwe Moroka, moradi wa kgosi Mokgopa. Dumelang marena, dumelang dikgosi. Dumela ntlo ya marena. Tsohong la hae le letona a tsamaela le tona Kgadi Queen Mathai Mokubung, kubukubung ntsha marota re bone. Le letona Teboho Mokwena, Mokwena wa Maiane. Dumelang marena, dumelang dikgosi. Madume morena Mopedi, morena ya fuweng mahlale le bohlale ke badimo le modimo. Yene ya jereng thomo ya ho tsweletsa pele setjhaba sa Basotho. Dumelang dikgosi, dumelang marena. Dumelang.
Ya leboa rentse re eme jwalo ba hlomphehi ba kgabane ke tla kopa hore bontate re roleng dikatiba bomme re emeng kaofela re bineng pina ya setjhaba. National anthem. Ha ke nke monyetla onana ke hlomphe le ho dumedisa marena rona maholo, morena Moremoholo Motebang Mopedi, morena Montwedi Mota, motlatsi wa modulasetulo wa ntlo ya borena ya Freistata Kgosi Moroka, maloko a phethahatso wa ntlo ya borena ya Freistata a Dinkwano, tona kgolo ya rona mme Queen Letsoa Mathai, letona la rona la mmuso selehae le taba tsa marena ntate Mokwena, ha mmoho le matona a Dinkwano ho tswa mmusong wa rona wa Freistata, modulasetulo wa ntlo ya borena ya naha Kgosi Thabo Seahlolo, hammoho le marena a hlahang boemong ba naha ba teng kwano. Ke hlomphe le ho dumedisa baeti ba rona kwano, di-chairperson and deputy chairpersons tse teng tsa rona tsa South Africa. Ke hlomphe marena ohle tsa ntlo ya borena Freestata hammoho le marena kaofela ka kakaretso a teng le setjhaba sa rona se teng kwano. Lebitsong la ntlo ya borena ya Freestata re a le amohela bahlomphehi ba ka ba teng kwano. Empa re kekebe ra amoheleha hantle ntle le hore re fumane molaetsa wa kamohelo le ho tsebiso ha baeti ho Kgosi Kgabohile le Moroka jwalo ska ha e le yena a re hostileng kwano kajeko. Kgosi, sebaka sa hao.
Modulasetulo wa ntlo ya dikgosi ya province eno ya rona ya Freestata. Ke ise tlotlo go wena le ntlo ya gago. Ke dumedise dikgosi tsotlhe. Ke ise tlotlo go Kgosigadi Kgaogalelo Moroka, mmele ga dikgosi, mme tota le ene e le our former chairperson of the Free State Provincial House. Tshika yotlhe le gaele le busang la Barolong bo seleka, kgotla ya gaetsho re mafano re amogela baeng ba rona gompieno modulasetulo mo lehatsheng la Barolong bo seleka. Tota lehatshe la re reng ka sejatlhapi, a place of small beginnings but mighty endings. Mme gompieno modulasetulo baeng ba re nang le bone re na le Kgosi Seatlholo yo e leng modulasetulo wa ntlo ya dikgosi ya naga, chairperson of the National House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders, morolong wa gaetsho Tholo. Re na le Kgosi Toto yo e leng modulasetulo wa ntlo ya dikgosi ko Northern Cape. Re na le Kgosi Mabalane yo e leng motlatsa modulasetulo wa ntlo ya dikgosi ko Bokone Bophirima Northwest Province yo tsamayang le Kgosi Shole. Mme Kgosi Shole ke tsa gore re yo mpelegeng Kgosi Mokgopa Moroka kwa teng gompieno o itumetse Kgosi ka gore o gatile mabala. Re na le Hosi Ngove go tswa modulasetulo wa ntlo ya dikgosi ko Limpopo, o tsamaya le motlatsi wa gagwe Kgosi Rammupudu. Re na le Nkosi Mthethwa go tswa ko Mpumalanga ko ntlong ya dikgosi. Mme re na le baeng gape go tswa kwa Lesotho College of Chiefs. Re na le Morena Jewel Motshweni le Morena Pete. Mme re tle mo letlhakoreng la mmuso e re pele modulasetulo re na le boemedi go tswa kana kemedi go tswa kwa National Khoi-San Council. Ke bone gore Re Tony Peterson o teng le ene. Mme go tswa kwa pusong re tla re eteletse pele e tla eteletse pele ke mopremiri wa rona mme McQueen Letsoa Mathai, mme o tsamaya le MEC wa agriculture re mme Elsa B Maloba ba rile ke Moroka. So ke mme Elsa B Rockman. o tsamaya le MEC wa Health, Re Mahlatsi, MEC of Education, Dr. Maboya, MEC of COCTA, Re Mokoena, me re na le speakera sa rona sa Mangaung, ba gaetsho ke irile phošo. Ke bona morena Molefe o iphitlhile, o tlhaga ko Nchu, KZN, a member of the executive of the National House. Morena, ke a go bona. Re na le the Speaker of Mangaung Metro Municipality, Dr. Lawrence Matai. Re na le our Deputy Mayor, Me Otiti Odidi, rather. Re na le MMC ya rona, Me Tsotedi, Me Bongi Tsotedi. Our DG, Dr. Pera, Lieno Ting, all HODs, Babaleng Ting, on behalf of the legislature, I think Ki Utlulogo, the acting secretary of the legislature, is here. Makgotla a rona a leng teng, bomma setšhaba, ke bone modulasetulo o teng, bannakgotla ba rona, our councils, as well as our partners and friends. I know the SAPS is represented, the University of the Free State, UNA engineers, and all other stakeholders, Babaleng teng, ba gaetsho le botlhokwa lotlhe, mme ra re le amogetswe. Baruti ba rona re feleletsa ka lona ka gore ke lona le re beang mo mangweleng ka dinako tsotlhe. Mogolo wa me ke go bone, mme ra re dintja di bofilwe. Tota Barolong ke batho ba kagišo ba gaetsho, a re itumeleng ke letsatsi le le tlhodilweng ke morena. Ke a leboga.
Thank you, Honorable DC. Ka gore o go tsebise di-guests tsa rona tse re na le tsona kajeno. Re na le mohlomongile a lebaleya baeti ba rona ba bohlokwa. Re na le MEC Jabu Mbalula, e leng the MEC of Safety, Roads and Transport. Re a o ananela mongaka ka boteng ba hao. Re na le Ntate Chabalala, e leng CEO ya ICE a Tenkwang. Re tla nne re tsebise bahlomphehi ba tla kena ha nako e ntse e ya, ka bobe re tla ba bona ha nako e ntse e ya mosebetsing wa rona mona. Hlalose fela re conveya this opening of the House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders in terms of the rules and orders of this house. Chapter 5 of our rules and orders, every year we should have the annual opening of the House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders. Will 13:1-4, the chairperson must annually determine a date for official opening of the Free State House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders. The secretary must notify all the members in writing of the date, time, and the venue of the opening. The premier of the province or any other member of the executive delegated by the premier shall open or address the house. The house shall conduct the proceedings in accordance with the order paper of the day. Therefore, Glina Rone Rain Zaga Bikamahanyo Bona Pedzing Lamala. This house is not a merely ceremonial. It is a moment for us to reflect on our responsibility and as traditional leaders to renewed commitment to work for our people and serve the communities that we lead. Leadership demands accountability, unity, and discipline in advancing the interest of community. Traditional leaders has always been a center of our society. During the struggle of freedom, traditional leadership stood with their people, defending the land and preserving their identity. Because of those sacrifices, we stand today with a responsibility to protect what it has been built. We must therefore state it clearly and without hesitation. As traditional leaders, we are ready to defend this country with our own blood, just like our forefathers did. We also take this moment to express the solidarity with the traditional leaders and the leaders of Eastern Cape and the people of the Eastern Cape who raised concern regarding the coronation of a Nigerian king in South Africa. As this House, we state firmly that such coronation should not have been taking place in South African soil. Matters of traditional leadership must be respected according to the law of this country. The custom of our people and the sovereignty of South Africa belongs to South African. Any action that undermines the integrity of the traditional leaders cannot be accepted. Therefore, we stand in unity in defending the dignity, legitimacy, and the authority of traditional leadership in the country. Honorable Premier, in terms of the rules and orders of this House, so that you can come in this House to address the people of Free State and to officially open the Free State House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders. Kana go ina pili ki ufa monyetla. I've been handed the paper muna naganitiare. Kiamhele Honorable Seiso Mahai, Elim Planning and Military Evaluation. Kibe ki amhele Honorable Megi wa tourism ati nkwano kajego. Mutsutsu ona ke tla ofa mo premier wa rona wa Free State hore atle ka pola rona mona re le marena re le batho ba buswang ke borena o utlwa gore mo premier o bua le rona jwang o rata sa jwang premier Mahofi.
Ricky Dumedise, Chairperson of the Free State Provincial House of Traditional and Khoi-San Leaders, Morena Neo Mupedi, Kwena. Technicians decided to Deputy Chairperson of the Free State Provincial House of Traditional and Khoi-San Leaders, Hosi Dr. Khabuilelu Moroka, Hosi Barolong Sele Katolo. Members of the Free State Provincial House of Traditional and Khoi-San Leaders, Morena Emoholo, Morena Moremoholo, Moteba Mupedi, Morena Wabakwena Bamupedi, Kiredi Homo Morena. Morena Moholo Montwedi Mota, Morena Wabatlokoba Mota, Di Homo Morena. Chairperson of the National House of Traditional and Khoi-San Leaders, Hosi Thaba Seatlolo Rapulan. Deputy Chairperson, Chairpersons and Deputy Chairpersons of Provincial House of Traditional and Khoi-San Leaders present here. Deputy Chairperson of National House of Traditional and Khoi-San Leaders, Nkosilanga Mavusa, Zweli Dumile. Chairperson and Deputy Chairperson of College of Chiefs of Lesotho, Chairpersons and Deputy Chairperson of Nkluyadi Khosi of Botswana, Judge President of the Free State Division of the High Court, Judge C.J. Musi, Deputy Minister Ukupile Kemokupele Tshwarelo Ntate Dixon Masemula, Olabasa Fua Mulaitsa Upotlakile Ngoya Mpumalanga, Deputy Minister of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Honorable Seiso Mohai. Deputy Minister of Tourism, Honorable Maggie Sokyu. Deputy Minister of Cooperative Governance, Lena Rokupetse Tshwarelo Tetezulile, Oremetsumani, Eastern Cape. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the Honorable Deputy Minister of his new responsibility as referent Speaker of the Free State Legislature, Honorable Tatem Xolisi Dukwana, the Speaker of the Free State, Lena ke mo dumedisa o kopile tshwarelo le ena. Honorable Nolita Aiboteng, MEC for Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable Tebuho Mukwena, and all MECs present here, all members of the national and provincial legislatures present here, leadership of Municipality of Thaba Mofutsanyan, Pumelela, Malutia Pofung, and our only metropolitan in the Free State, Mangaung, the host. Members of Thaba Mofutsanyan, local House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders, and all traditional leaders present here, to our newly appointed Provincial Commissioner of South African Police Services, Major General Taban Lisia, and Regional Commissioner of Correctional Services, Commissioner Subashin Mutli, by Tapeli bohle ba Contralesa and Rolesa, leadership ya batho bohle ba tlileng ba nkile monyetla hore ba re hlomphetsa tseleng, leadership of Chapter 9 institutions, leadership of University of Central University, Provincial, Head Director General Dr. Pera, le bohle ba etelletse mmuso pele dihlooho tsa mafapha, the officials kaofela ke a le dumedisa, and members of the media, of course. Setjhaba sa Bakwena ba Mopedi tlasa boetapele ba Morena e moholo Mopedi. Setjhaba sa Batlokwa ba Mota tlasa boetapele ba Morena e moholo Mota. Morena Paulos Moloi letsitsa la boraro ntumella Morena ke dumedisa setjhaba sa Makgolokwe. Dumelang batho ba o hlaba ka kgo ka lemao. Kgosi Nkgatletso Tetsi, Nkgatle wa bobedi ntumella Kgosi ke dumedisa setjhaba sa hao Kgosi, setjhaba sa Batlokwa ba Mokgalong Batlokwa dumelang. Our host setjhaba sa Kgosi Moroka dumelang Barolong bo Seleka bo Tholo. Ai ba Freistata ke lebo. Ke hoa madume ke a dumedisa ba heso ngwana Mosotho Phapata Kgotso ka mehla Kgotso Marena Kgotso ba heso ditumediso mona Sesothong ho thwe ha di fele. I stand before you today with a profound sense of respect and honor as we gather for this annual official opening of the 4th session of the 6th House of the Free State Provincial House of Traditional Leaders and Khoi-San. We do so not merely to commence a legislative program, but to reaffirm a sacred covenant between the Free State Provincial Government and the institutions of traditional leaders, an institution that forms the very bedrock of our society. Today, we gather on a foundation built by giants. We cannot chart a course for the future of the Free State without first acknowledging the profound legacy of those who walked on this land long before us. We pay tribute to the visionary leadership of Kim Moshweshwe, the architect of the Basotho nation, whose wisdom and diplomacy remain a blueprint for our social cohesion and a symbol of unity. We remember the courage of Mufumahadi Mantatisi of the Batlokwa nation, a warrior queen whose strategic brilliance and resilience defied the conventions of her time. We remember the steadfast leadership of Morena Mopedi Mokhatshane. We honor the wisdom and legacy of Kgosi Moroka. We remember the resilience of Wetsi, the great warrior of Makgolokwe. The strategic might and resistance of these leaders shaped the very contours of our land. These were leaders whose influence, courage, and vision transcend the boundaries of any single province or era. When we speak of these leaders, we do not merely speak of an institution. We speak of leaders who taught us that the quest for freedom demands the ultimate sacrifice. These were not just rulers of their people. They were custodians of our heritage, defenders of our sovereignty, and the original architects of nation building. Their work reminds us that the role of traditional leadership is not a relic of the past, but a living, a vital force for the present. It is in this spirit that we acknowledge an earnest need before us today, the need for a strengthened, respectful, and genuine relationship between government and our traditional leaders. We cannot build a future if we envision and if we stand apart. Sorry, my apologies. The challenges of our time, land, development, identity, and social stability requires us to work together. Let us honor the legacy of those who came before us, not with mere words, but through a renewed commitment to partnership. To our traditional and Khoi-San leaders, this provincial government extends its hands in partnership. Let us build the Free State together. Modula Stulo, ke tlotla le monyetla ho nna o bua pulenyana ya semolao ya ntlo ya marena. Dikgosi le boetapele ba Khoi-San le Masan Free State. Modula Stulo, pele ke ka kena ditabeng ka ho phatlalla, ntumella hore ke bontshe hlompho ho lelapa la morena Thaba Mokoena ya ileng a re sia lena lefatshe ka kgwedi ya Hlakubele ha ene hlola matsatsi a mahlano. Morena Thaba Mokoena ine le morena wa motse wa Mafike seterekeng sa Thaba Bosu tlasa borena ba sehloho ba morena Neo Mopedi eo e le modulasetulo wa ena ntlo ya marena. Dikgosi le boetapele ba Khoi-San le ma Free State. Ho lelapa la morena Thaba Mokoena le borena bo boholo ba Bakwena ba Mopedi re le mmuso wa Free State re re phephi ba heso mme modimo o le fe matla hobane ra tseba pelo tsa lona di ntse di utlwile bohloko. Ka hona ke kopa bohle re emeng ka maoto re kgutswe metsotsonyana ho lebisa tlhompho morena Thaba Mokoena marena dikgosi tsohle tse re sileng lefatsheng lena. Thank you. Chairperson, on the 26th February 2026, during the past annual official opening of the National House of Tradition and Khoi-San leaders, our president spoke words that resonated deeply with all of us. He said, and I quote, "The institution of traditional leaders, of traditional leadership forms the steady roots that holds the great tree of our nation up. Traditional leadership is the institution that anchors us in history. It nourishes us with identity. It stabilizes us when storms rage," close quote. How profound and true these words are. When one of our roots is disturbed, when a traditional leader passes, the entire tree trembles. We are deeply hurt and feel the ground shift beneath us. This is because it is true that traditional leaders remain the primary enablers of social cohesion, the trusted mediators of conflict, the unwavering guardians of our land, and the revered transmitters of culture. Chairperson, long before the formal architecture of the modern state was conceived on our shores, there existed in this land systems of cogent accountability. Systems rooted in consensus and the spirit of Botho. As the custodians of many of our cultures, customs, and shared values, the very source of the strength of our nation, you, your majesties, your highnesses, holds the soil together. You anchor the trunk and you help us all grow taller. Without strong roots, a nation cannot stand. It is you to whom our people turn in times of uncertainty and upheaval, and on whom they rely for guidance and wisdom passed down through the ages. As such, traditional leaders are not merely ceremonial figures. They are indispensable partners in our collective mission to improve our economy and the lives of every Free State man, woman, and child. We will, therefore, continue to emphasize the critical importance of partnership between traditional leaders and government. However, Chairperson, we must be honest with ourselves. This partnership must translate into tangible, measurable outcomes that demonstrably improve the lives of our communities, particularly those in traditional communities under traditional leadership. We are encouraged, Chairperson, by the National Review of the White Paper on Local Government, which now includes a dedicated chapter developed in consultation with the National House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders, which you form part of, that aims at defining the role of traditional leadership in municipal governance and development planning. Chairperson, here in the Free State, we want to see this translate into stronger coordination between traditional councils, municipalities, provincial government, and our disaster management centers. We need this integrated approach to respond effectively to the growing threats of climate change, flooding, and recurrent disasters. In this way, we can build an effective, responsive, and seamless system of governance that leaves no one behind. Chairperson, championing women traditional leadership should be a cornerstone for every government. As a woman premier, it is one of my highest priorities to empower all women across the province. Championing women traditional leadership means leveraging the immense influence of traditional authorities, including kings and queens, to challenge patriarchal norms that have held our society back for too long. It is about promoting gender equality and fostering empowerment of women within our communities. This approach is increasingly recognized not just as a matter of justice, but as critical for transforming cultural practices that hinder the rights of women and for fostering sustainable socio-economic development in traditional communities. We must create space for the voices of women, not only as members of the community, but as leaders in their own right. Chairperson, during the State of the Nation address, the President outlined the national priorities of the government of national unity. As a provincial government, we echo his words and call upon all of society, including our traditional leaders, to marshal their energies, resources, and talents towards our collective goal. President Ramaphosa correctly pointed out that South Africa is in a much better position than it was a year ago. However, our challenges are many, and our difficulties are deeply embedded in our painful past. Joblessness, especially among young people, is rife across the country, and as we have observed, seems to be worsening in parts of our province. But its effects are most severe in our rural communities, here in Thaba, Nchu, Kwakwa, Makulukwe, to name just a few examples. Ha re ka sebetsa mmoho, re tla fihlella tse ngata molemong wa baahi ba metseng le metsaneng ya rona. Ho molemo hore re be marematlou, re be ntswelengwe. Chairperson, with limited access to opportunities in villages and small towns, many of our young people feel compelled to migrate to urban centers in search of work. This exodus not only weakens the local economy, but also frays our social fabric. Young people become disconnected from their customs, their heritage, and the very leadership structures that are meant to guide them. Furthermore, the service delivery challenges in local government are felt particularly hard in these rural areas. When roads are poorly maintained, farmers cannot transport their goods to the market. When clinics and schools are far, school children and the elderly must travel long distances, costing them money that is already in scarce supply. Chairperson, I hope and believe that Marena and Dikhosi made inputs on the Water Service Amendment Bill 2005, which is due today, 31st March 2026. Our rural areas are also increasingly water stressed. When the taps run dry, it does not only affect households, it devastates small-scale and communal farmers who rely on water to till the land, grow crops, and sustain their livestock. It is against this backdrop of real and pressing challenges that we, the Free State Provincial Government, together with our traditional leaders and the broader community, must move with urgency towards better and sustainable solutions. One such solution is our commitment to provide innovative funding to Black producers with the support of the Land and Agricultural Bank of South Africa and other commercial banks. The President announced that, and I quote, "This year we will be deploying 10,000 new agricultural extension officers across the country to provide technical support to both smallholder and commercial farmers, close quote. We are happy to report that the Free State is well included in that deployment, and we are particularly pleased that our traditional and rural areas are forming an integral part of this program. Modulasetulo, re mmuso o tsotellang, o batlang ho ntshetsa pele ditabatabelo tsa batho ba rona. Molemong wa bohle, re sebedisana mmoho le marena le dikgosi. Ke marena le dikgosi ba tla fanang ka tataiso hore re sebetsa mmoho jwang. Rona re tla latela ditaelo tsa marena le dikgosi ya rona hobane ke bona ba tsebang hore setjhaba sa bona se hloka eng. Ntumelle modulasetulo, ke hlalose hore ke ne ke le motsengwane wa Makwani ka Sontaha, mo batjha ba ileng ba etsa kgweletso ho rona mmuso le traditional leaders. Mme ho se seng se ileng sa bua ke motjha e mong mona o la re ha re ntse re bua ka taba ena ya GBV hore hobaneng batho ba rona re se re hloka maitseo, re hloka mohau, re bolaya basadi, re bolaya bana. Empa se ile sa makatsa ka hara kopano eo modulasetulo, ho la ba le ntate a la ema a hlalosa bothata ba hae, a re le ntse le bua ka bomme, le nna ke le tjena ke hlokofetswa ke mme ka tlung. A ipolela ka hara setjhaba, Morena Pete o na le teng ke yane o la mo utlwela. E mong a ema ntate a re ra hloriswa ka hara malapa ke bomme, ba bang re patala maintenance, ba hana re bona bana ba rona. Mme motjha ena o la challenger baeteledipele ba rona, re marena ho etsahetseng ka dipitso. O na le teng Morena Pete, ne ke na le ena. Dipitso tsane tseo re neng re di bitsa re le setjhaba, re bue le tsona. Mme ka hona ke challenge e ke batlang ho itlisa mona hore motjha o eme mona o na emetse mokgatlo o bitswang Youth in Action, hore ha re tsoselletseng dipitso dibakeng tseo re neng baetapele teng, re ntse re sebetsa mmoho le makhanselara. Mme pitso e re tshwanetse re etse ntate Mokoena ke ho hatella ho sebedisana mmoho ha makhanselara a rona le baeteledipele bana ba rona, hobane ke moo re fumanang ekare ho na le moo tsekwang ditulo, empa re tshwanetse re hlalosa hore role ya marena a rona ke efeng, makhanselara ke efeng, ke seo re se qoqileng motsengwane wa rona wa Makwani ka Sontaha. During the State of the Province address on the 20th February 2026, we reiterated that our traditional and Khoi-San leaders are the guardians of culture and traditions and agents of cohesion and development in democracy. Furthermore, in November 2025, we established the Mangaung Local House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders to advise the Mangaung Metropolitan on matters affecting traditional leadership and critical customary initiation practices. We are satisfied that working with our traditional and Khoi-San leaders, there was a notable decrease in the number of deaths during this customary initiation season. The Free State recorded 4 deaths during the winter initiation season and 17 during the summer season in 2025. While this decrease is welcome, let me be unequivocal. I just want to. Every death is one too many. Will not rest until we achieve 0 deaths in completely eliminating criminality in our initiation schools. Ke mona mo re tshwantseng re sebetse mmoho haholo makhanselara a rona a re tsoselletseng kopano ya rona le baeteledipele le bana ba bitswang hore ke baeteledipele ba dintlo tsa mabollo, a re sebetse mmoho makhanselara hore dipalo tsena tsa bone di theohe ho feta mona, re se ke ra ba le ha e le setopo seo re ka ra se ngolang ka selemong sena se leng hore tlabe re isa bana ba rona dibakeng tsena tsa mabollo. Ntumella ka kotlolo hore ke lebohe Provincial Initiation Coordinating Committee, modulasetulong tsa bakgosi Nkgatle Tsotetsi le motlatsa modulasetulo Mme Malifu Khamani ka boitelo ba bona ho netefatsa hore bana ba rona ba bolokehile mephatong. Ke na le tumelo e tiileng hore ka le leng letsatsi re tla bona bana ba rona ba kgutla kaofela ho tswa mephatong ho se le a le mong ya hlokaetseng. One of the pressing challenges we continue to face is the cross-border crime, which remains a significant threat to the safety and stability of our traditional communities. This is a complex issue that requires a united front. To this end, The police in the Free State will continue to engage with their counterparts in Lesotho, alongside our traditional leaders and community members. This includes the other provinces which we share the border with to combat crime effectively. The issue of stock theft remains a significant challenge in our rural areas. We will continue with operations led by MEC Jabum Balula in various communities to ensure that such operations result into positive results. Let us continue to work together to build a safer, more just and prosperous Free State province. Re boele re lebohe lefapha la hao Ntate Ntsokolo Mbalula ka tsela eo le ntseng le buisana le dinaha tsena tse ding hobane o ile wa ba mema letona la kamane ka hara Lesotho hore le tlo bua le wena re bontshane hore na re le mmuso wa Free State re ka etsa jwang hore re thuse hore baahi ba rona ba dule ba bolokehile. Mme ke batla ho isa ditebo tse kgolo ho basebeletsi ba lefapha la hao Ntate Mbalula, in particular ke batla ho leboha Ntate Mohapi Thomas Mohapi leng hore ha re etela dinaha tsena tse bapileng le rona o dula a hlomphuwa ebile a hlomphuwa ke marena sebakeng seo ka mosebetsi o motle a o etsang, mme mosebetsi o ha o etsetse yena le ba lelapa la hae. Mme ke tlo kopa Ntate Thomas re ke go first standing ovation ha ngwe fela o sa phela batho ba o bona hore ke wena o re emelang dipuisanong tsena tse thata tsa ho kopana. Ke a leboha. Ntate o leboha le ke boramapolasi e seng fela ba batho ba batsho le ba makgowa province ena ka tshebedisano mmoho ya bang le yona haholo ha re tla tabeng tsena tsa madiboho. With Good Friday being separated by only 2 days from now, we'll see more motorists taking to the roads, going to various locations across the province and the country. Safety remains our number one priority. As the Free State Provincial Government, our traditional leaders should also play a central role in assisting to reduce road fatalities. Festive season statistics show a 5% reduction in fatal crashes. 5 provinces reported reductions, with the highest percentage reduction recorded in the Eastern Free State, in the Eastern Cape, followed by us in the Free State. The N8 is a national road in South Africa connecting Groblersdorp Hope to Maseru, Lesotho, via Kimberley and Bloemfontein. Well maintained by South African National Road Agency, SANRAL, it spans roughly 700 kilometers and acts as a crucial route for commuters and transport, passing through the Velge-Boomnek Pass. It is known for high traffic volumes near Bloemfontein and high incidence rates, unfortunately. Mona mo re leng teng ke engwe ya ditsela tseo re amang tse leng hore ra tseba hore ha re atamela nako ena sebaka seo re leng ho sona kgosi ra tseba le tlabele amohela le dikereke tsa SADC hona mona sebakeng sena sa Thaba Nchu, mme ho utlwahala hore Ntate Mbalula o tlo tshwanela re eketse batho ba rona tseleng mona bane ho na le batho ba tswang lefatshe mona Afrika ba tlabeng ba etetse sebaka sena sa rona ba tlo keteka Paseka ho sona. SANRAL has positively responded to our proposal to undertake a cultural cleansing ceremony and building of monument for those who died on N8 road. Marena Dikhosi, South SACR, Sifuba, and SANRAL must collaborate to ensure that the cleansing ceremony and monument initiative are realized to curb road fatalities on this highway. Chairperson and Deputy Chairperson of College of Chiefs of Lesotho Kingdom, last year, you were at the University of the Free State together with our traditional leaders with the aim to upskill and capacitate each other for the benefit of our communities, and we welcome this move. We recognize the work being done by the University of the Free State as you continue to train our traditional leaders, officials and community members on issues of governance, food security, local economic development, financial and contract management. Chairperson, the process of livestock donation to traditional leaders by the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development and Environmental Affairs has yielded positive results as the process has been finalized during financial year. We'd like to ask Marena and the Kgosi to be cautious of foot and mouth disease, as we are still working on fighting this disease that threatens our economy. And we would like to ask Marena and the Kgosi, as well as the community, to play a central role in this fight. As a government, we remain committed to supporting our traditional leaders. Previously, we had made a promise to replace the official vehicles for our traditional leaders, as it was done. As the Free State Provincial Government, we would like to reaffirm our commitment to Morena Amaholo, Morena Emoholo, Morena Moholo Mopedi, and Morena Emoholo Muntwedi Mota, that their vehicles will be provided disediliteng DME Mona Government Garage. As the provincial government departments, we are committed to set aside budget to support projects initiated by traditional leaders, and will come up with a resolution towards achieving this commitment in the forthcoming departmental budget votes. We shall supplement the work done by traditional leaders on internship programs and other initiatives in Kwakwa, Nchu, and Mahulukwe. Today, we would like to take a moment to recognize the invaluable contributions of our deputy traditional leaders, headmen and headwomen across various traditional councils. These leaders play a pivotal role in bridging the gap between government, traditional structures, and communities they serve. Their dedication and commitment to the well-being of our people are truly commendable. To all our deputy traditional leaders, headmen and headwomen, we say, Re reholona, re a leboha, re a leboha. Thank you. Your work is the backbone of our communities, and your efforts do not go unnoticed. Ke kopa hore hape re a le leboha. You are the custodians of our culture, the guardians of our values, and the champions of development in your respective areas. We encourage you to continue working together with government and other stakeholders to ensure that the needs of our people are met and that our communities thrive. Let us remember that the strength of our nation lies in the strength of our communities. And the strength of our communities lies in the hands of leaders who dedicate their lives to serving others. Let us continue to support one another, to uplift one another, and to build a free state that you can all be proud of. Since the dawn of democracy, government has been working hand in hand with our traditional leaders with the intention to improve the lives of our people. As a Free State Provincial Government, we are committed and continue to work with traditional leaders, and in the future with the Khoi-San leaders once they are recognized. Chairperson, allow us to address the issue around the unused, dilapidated, and underutilized government buildings. These structures, once symbols of administration, education, or even oppression, now stands monument to stagnation. They are vacant colleges, schools, and defunct office blocks. Every broken window, every crumbling wall represents a broken promise. It represents a wasted asset in the province that is crying out for economic opportunity, service delivery points, and dignity. We cannot and will not allow these assets to remain as symbols of failure. We must turn them into symbols of opportunity. Today, we'll be outlining the roadmap for how the Free State Provincial Government, led by the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, will reposition and repurpose these unused buildings, not for the benefit of a few, but for the benefit of our traditional communities under traditional leadership. The challenge is twofold. First, we have a maintenance backlog that has reached critical levels. Buildings were built, used, and then abandoned without decommissioning plan. The cost of securing these dilapidated structures has become a drain on our fiscals, and worse, they've become hotspots for criminal activity, illegal dumping, and safety hazard for our children. Second, we have misalignment between infrastructure and community needs. We have government buildings sitting empty in traditional communities, while Marena and the Khosi, who are the custodians of customary laws and the closest form of government to our people, operate from inadequate facilities. We have communities who travel more than 20 kilometers to access a government service, while a state-owned building lies empty right next to them. This is a failure of special planning. We have built assets in silos without consulting the very people who know the land best, the traditional leaders. We are no longer going to manage our property portfolio with a colonial or purely administrative mindset. We are shifting to a developmental asset management model. The Department of Public Works and Infrastructure will kickstart the process of audit. We know where the keys are, and we know the conditions of the brick. But an audit without action is just a paperwork. Therefore, I'm directing that we accelerate the repositioning, repurposing strategy with a singular focus, service delivery and economic empowerment under the stewardship of traditional leadership institution. What does this mean in practical terms? Firstly, we are repurposing for service delivery. Where we have a former state-owned clinic or a traditional authority building that has been abandoned, we'll renovate it to become a one-stop service center for home affairs, social development, and agriculture. This will not be run solely from Pretoria or Bloemfontein. They will be co-managed with local governance structures. Secondly, we are repurposing for economic development. We'll identify large unused government office blocks or warehouses in rural towns and transfer them to the Free State Development Corporation. The FDC will act as the developer and the landlord. They will convert these spaces into agro-processing hubs, business incubators for young people, specifically for the creative industry and digital economy. Heritage and tourism sites, converting all magistrate courts or residential homes into museums and accommodation that tell the story of our people and generate revenue. However, this process cannot succeed without the full involvement, consent, and partnership of Marena le Dikgosi. Re kebe ra tleya ka ntle le hore re sebetse mmoho le lona hobane tse ding tsa dibaka tsena di metseng ya lona di fela pela metlo ya rona mahlo a rona hobane rona re a le feila re santsane re tsamaya butle. President ha le mona ho rona maloba o re kgothaletsa hore e ka re phamisa maoto. Thero ya mane makwani Morena Pete Tate Maine le Ntate Thuiso ba itse a ke re jwetseng setjhaba nnete. Like ba ntho e bohloko ha re jwetseng setjhaba nnete. Mo e bang ha re etsa hantle re eme pela lona re re mona teng ha re ka ra tsama hantle. Setjhaba se tla re hlomphela nnete ntle le ditshepiso tse senang letho. Ke bua tjena hobane ke tseba sello sa Marena haholo ha batla dinthong tsena tse ke buileng ka tsona hore khale le kopa hore dibaka tsena re etsang ka tsona le emetse hore ho bo fele ebe a ke tsebe Sesotho ka sebisa mara ke a tseba masupi le emetse hore ebe fihle maemong mao mme re itlamme mane re le mmuso wa Freistata selemong sena re kopa re tsamayeng le lona marena re sebetseng ka thata re etse bonnete ba hore dibaka tse le di hlwaileng metseng ya lona re atla re le mmuso hobane seo re se buileng re le mmuso wa Freistata gore hobane re tshwantse re dule re na le dibaka tseo re sa di sebediseng hobane re tshwantse re dule re le mmuso wa Freistata re tshwere lefatshe leo re sa le sebediseng empa rena le local government e mafatshe a mang re ka rareng re lefa ona jwang hore le etse development re tla ho ba kgosi le marena a rona re re lefatshe ke lena ke eng le seo le ka se etsang ka mafatshe ao di-building tsena tsa dikolo tse fetuileng mo di koita di patanteng ho bolaya batho hobaneng re sa fane ka dibaka tseo mme re nkile qeto hore pele selemo sena se tlang sa ditjhelete se fela process ena e tshwantse be mathile dikgosi le marena hona le dibaka tse re reng tsena ke tsa lona tsena ke tse mmuso o tlo developang tsena ke tsa local government mo ele ho batla etsa development tsa bona teng mme sena re a se tshepisa ra tlameha hore re kene le lona ha re etsa Provincial Infrastructure Consultative Forum ena re tshwantse re sebetseng ka thata le lona marena re tshwantse re sebetse le lona hobane le emetse baahi ra tlameha hore re le kenye di-planning tsohle tsa dintho tseo re di etsang hobane mosebetsi wa lona ha se ho khatha diribono le na le karolo ya bohlokwa mme re tshwanela ra fetole ho khatha diribono ho bonwa le baetapele ba tlisang ditshitshinyo mmusong ona mme ditshitshinyo tseo di amohelwa di developa maphelo a batho. We will involve you in determining what a community needs. Like dibakeng tsa lona le ga tseba ba bang ba itse re hloka di-traditional courts, skills development centers. Re batla le mo e leng hore ha re batla ho etsa fantisi ya diphoofolo tsa rona ke o kae mme tsena di re ho rona mmuso wa Freistata ntate Mokoena matona kaofela a re emeng ka maoto ha re etsa this budget tsa rona selemong sena re bue hore na re nka jwang ditshitshinyo tsena tsa rona tsa marena tseo ba di tlisitseng ho rona. For too long, government has built things and left them to rot. Moving forward, where a building is repurposed for a community under a traditional leader will enter into custodianship agreements. This means the Department of Public Works will do the major capital renovation, but the traditional council, supported of course by the FDC, where commercial activity exists, will take responsibility for the day-to-day maintenance, security, and utilities. We'll provide the skills transfer and the initial funding for maintenance plans, but we must build a sense of ownership as well. If a building is ours, we take care of it. If it is yours, you protect it. The role of the Free State Development Corporation is the FDC is our economic arm. We'll instruct the FDC to work side by side with the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure and traditional leaders to identify buildings that have commercial viability. We're not just handing over buildings, we're handing over economic engines. The FDC will provide the business acumen. If a former government hostel is turned into a textile manufacturing hub, the FDC will assist the community trust under the leadership of the traditional council to run it as a profitable entity. Chairperson, allow me to use this platform to instruct the MEC for Public Works and Infrastructure. I want a timeline. I want a prioritized list of 20 buildings, specifically located in areas under traditional leadership that are ready for immediate repurposing. Nako ya ho etsa di-statement tse ngata selemo le selemo, di-statement tsa rona di sa change, re bua ntho e leng e tshwantse fela. Ke nako ya hore ha re etsa dipuo selemo se tlang re bue ka feedback, re bue ka progress. To the Provincial House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders, I extend a hand of respect from us as the provincial government to you. We are ready to meet you at our next engagement with positive news. We are ready to bring the plans to you. We want your nominees to serve on the asset management task teams. This is your province. These are your people. Let us build Free State together. To the FDC, you are the engine of implementation. I want you to move beyond the city centers. I want you to look at Thaba, Nchu, and Kwakwa, and Makhulukweng, at areas under the leadership of the esteemed Marena and Khosi. Show us that economic development can happen where the people are, not where we wish them to be. Let us be clear about the significance of this moment. When we reposition a building, we are not just fixing a roof or painting a wall. We are restoring dignity. When we take an old, unused building that reminds a community of neglect and turn it into a skills center led by their traditional leaders, we are telling our youth, and I quote, "We are not leaving you behind," close quote. When we partner with Marena and Khosi to transform a dilapidated state asset into a commercial hub managed by the FDC, we are telling our entrepreneurs, and I quote, "You do not have to leave the land of your ancestors to find prosperity. We are here," and close quote. The era of building and abandoning is over. The era of consulting only after cement has dried is over. The era of silos between Department of Public Works, the FDC, and the traditional leaders is over. We are entering an era of core governance. We are entering an era of renewal. Let us take these unused stones and build from them a future that our forefathers and the generations to come will be proud of. Together, working hand in hand with Marena, the Khosi, FDC, and all our people, we'll turn the Free State into a province where every building serves a purpose, every asset creates value, and every community thrives. Chairperson, as the people of the Free State, we celebrate excellence, we celebrate outstanding leadership, and celebrate legacy. Between the last opening of this house and today, we have witnessed one of our own being celebrated on an international stage. The International University of Entrepreneurship in Tanzania honored Khosi Dr. Khawilelwe Moroka with an honorary doctorate. This recognition celebrates her remarkable leadership, her commitment to inclusive growth and enduring legacy in entrepreneurship and service. We salute you, Khosi. As part of Khosi's commitment to inclusive growth and a legacy in entrepreneurship and service, we recently witnessed the second phase of the Barolong Master Plan on Agriculture, wherein INAGO program was launched here in Thaba, Nchu, which aims to provide an interactive and collaborative food security program focusing on rural communities. Ke kopa re etse njalo bohle re lene from Barolong. The program focused on backyard greening and signals the start of piloting large-scale farming on communal land, an important step towards empowering communities as the primary beneficiaries of large-scale crop production. The program celebrates collaboration between the private sector, organized civic structures, the Barolong Traditional Council, and the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development and Environmental Affairs. During the launch of this program, 27 participants received certificates for completing a short course on introduction to sustainable food security presented in collaboration with the University of the Free State. Pele ya pele, Khosi. As we continue to celebrate excellence in this beautiful province, Mufumadi Mamuteba Mupedi of Bakwena Bamupedi, Bamupedi Principal Traditional Community was recently appointed by His Excellency Sir President Cyril Ramaphosa to serve as a commissioner on the prestigious Presidential Climate Commission. Idimbogoto. Ibomme. Bathat. Batshwere thipa ka bohaleng. These 25 commissioners, representatives of South Africa society, comprise of esteemed individuals from business, labor, civil society, youth, and traditional leadership. The commissioners bring diverse and relevant experience in climate change, environmental policy, sustainable development, and energy. We are immensely proud that one of our own, Mufumadi Mamutiba Mupedi, has been appointed to serve on this critical commission, which aims to improve the lives of our people by tackling one of the greatest challenges of our time, climate change. Modula Stulo, Ntumelo hore ke sebedise mantswe a mme Mama Hase Mohale, e leng e mong wa baahi ba Freistata, ha na lebohisa Mufumadi Mamutebang Mopedi, ha ngola leqepheng la Facebook a re, mme ke a mo qotsa, ra o lebohela kwena. Sena ke sesupo sa hore marena a rona a nkelwa hloohong jwale. Lore tlatselletso kapa diphehiso tsa marena di tla kgona ho etsa phapang ka hare ho naha, pele ya pele Mokwena. Mme le rona re le mmuso re re pele ya pele Mokwena. This is woman empowerment in action. In this financial year, we're able to appoint some officials in traditional council offices. We are committed to fill up vacant posts in some traditional councils in the coming financial year. This year, this will ease the workload experienced in these offices. Ke a kgolwa marena le batla le kgotsofetse la e se ka o felella. Chairperson a re, Furthermore, we congratulate Morena e moholo Moremo Motibang for building a much-needed community library with the assistance of African rainbow minerals. The library, which stands near Bakwena Royal Council and the Royal House, reflects a profound commitment to community advancement and at the same time honors the legacy of the late Khoi-San Manapo Mupedi, after whom it is named. Ra leboha haholo modula setulo wa rona Morena e moholo. We are happy that the MEC for Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Honorable Ntomzane Lesfuba, has committed to assist the Khoi-San Manapo Mupedi Library in ensuring its full functionality and to also ensure that operations are not disrupted. Chairperson, the beginning of this year, the MEC Dateketso Makume, MEC Dateteboho Mokwena, and Marena Amaholo Moremo Holo Mupedi and Muntwedi Mota undertook a benchmarking exercise to Khosi Nyalala Pilani in Murule, Northwest Province. During a fruitful meeting, leaders from both provinces discussed. During the meeting, both leaders from both provinces, my apologies for that, discussed tourism offerings, investment opportunities, and partnerships. The meeting emphasized the role of traditional leaders in developing and preserving cultural heritage attractions as a key part of tourism, Honorable Deputy Minister Sotyu. Commitments were made, and Khosi Pilani will visit the Free State to further explore how the two provinces can assist each other to grow their economies. Meke Atsepa, Butemba Haumona, Deputy Minister, Butla etsa hore toro ena e phethale, ebe e atahe ho feta ka moo ba ne ba shebile ka teng. Ke a tseba ha wa tla fela, o tlile o tlo mamela hore na e ka ba le wena o ka kenya letsoho kae. Mme ke a tseba le ditabatabelo tsa hao ka sebaka sena seo re se fumane mona Thaba Nchu sa na le disane hore o re eme ka nokeng hore re bone re se tsoseletsa mme se tlisa moruo ka hara Thaba Nchu. Ke a leboha mme Sotho. Morena e moholo Mota, last year he recommended an official visit to the South Manthatisi, a submarine named after one of the bravest women ever to live. Your recommendation stands, and we are pleased to announce that in the new financial year, this visit will materialize. Now, while I during this visit, which will be led by Morena Emoholo Mota, members of the royal family, the traditional council, both the provincial and local houses, and a select group of community members, particularly our youth, will form part of this milestone journey aimed at honoring the legacy of Mufumahadi Manthatisi and educating future generations. Mitsa ki utlwa kopo yena ile kare lefapha le atolose memo ho lefapha la mme Dr. Mamiki Mabuya hore re bone hore na re ka sebetsa jwang jwalo ka ile ga sebetsa mmoho sebakeng sane tsa lona mme Sotho sa kgodimodumo mme le mona re nke bana re bone hore na ba ka nka tsebo efeng ho leeto lena. Chairperson, santsane re batla ipolela hore re le mmuso ona re ikemisetse haholo hore re thusane re sebetse mmoho le hore re etsa hore bana ba rona ba tsebe haholo ka pale tsa mo ba tswang teng tsa sebaka se ba dulang sona bana re dumela hore Freistata ina le history e kgolo haholo e le hore bana ba rona ba ka ithuta dintho tse ngata haholo ho tswa ho yona. We urge all departments to set aside budget to address issues affecting Borena and Bokhosi in the province. Bogus traditional leaders now are taking over the institution of traditional leadership. Two of our recognized traditional leaders served days in jail when trying to stop illegal allocation of sites by bogus traditional leaders. Ipiletsa ho wena Ntate Mokoena, ho Ntate Mbalula, ipiletsa on NPA le all law enforcement agencies hore re sebetseng le marena re ntsheng botlokotsebe bona ba rona hobane bana ba ipitsang marena e se marena kapa dikgosi e se dikgosi ba nka monyetla wa tlhoko ba bapalla dikelellong tsa batho ba sotleileng ba bapalla dikelellong tsa batho ba lapileng ba bapalla dikelellong tsa batho ba nahana hore ha bana lefatshe mme ba sebedisa dintho tseo ho hula batho mme re tlo tshwanela re eme ka maoto haholo a re ya dikgethong tsena tsa local government mo re tlo bona ntho ena e etsala haholo dibakeng tsa marena ke puletsa wona Ntate Balula ha re tsweng letsholo re lo protecta kapa re lo sireletsa dibaka tsena tsa marena a rona. Chairperson, the office accommodation for the Provincial House of Traditional Leaders and Khoi-San leaders will be ready for occupation. Mme mona ke tsebisitswe maobane ha ke kopana le MEC obane ha be nela ga utla ga fane kgwedi tse tharo mme re a tshepisa ka June ha e fella tshwantse marena a ba ikotlolla ka hara diofisi tsa bona mane sebakeng se ne le Thusanong Bloemfontein. On behalf of the Executive Council of the province, we would like to commit that all our standing issues raised by this House will be thoroughly addressed during the dialogue between the House and the Executive Council of the Free State scheduled for April 2026 or any date suitable for all parties at the Exco Chambers, Mona, Bloemfontein. We see this dialogue as a crucial platform for strengthening our partnership and finding practical solutions to the challenges we face together. Chairperson and members of this House, it is now my honor and privilege to declare the fourth session of the 6th Free State Provincial House of Traditional and Khoi-San leaders officially opened. May your deliberations be fruitful and guided by the wisdom of your ancestors. Morena Bolokas Chabasayeso. May God bless our province and our land. Ke a leboha, ke a bulela.
Re Re a leboha tonakgolo, re ka mo opela matsoho hape hape. Re a leboha, thank you very much. Re a leboha tonakgolo ya mmuso wa Freestata. Me Makwini Letshwa Mathai ka puo e ntle o re fileng yona re le ntlo ya borena le ditjhaba tsa rona mona Freestata. Re lebile go menahane. Jwalo ska le tseba, honorable members and bahlomphehi ba rona ba re tjhaketseng kwano, tsatsi la kajeno